Okay guys, so this is a 32-ounce bag of tater tots that are pre-frozen. I'm going to add half of this into a crock pot, and this is going to be a quick and easy tater tot sort of quick bake casserole. Now, I'm going to save the rest of that to add in at the end, but I'm now going to add in about a pound or so of pre-cooked ground beef that I've just cooked right before this. You just want to cook that, get off a little bit of that oil, but you can go ahead and leave a little bit of that in there just for some flavor. So add that in. And then the next key ingredient that you're going to need is going to be some Velveeta cheese or any sort of meltable cheese that you're going to want to cube up. You want around 12 ounces, so I would say use half of one of those 2-pound large bricks that you're going to buy in the store. And like I said, any brand is fine. This is what I used, and I used about half of this. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is add in about 2 tablespoons of chopped or minced garlic. Now, I use the pre-jarred minced garlic, but if you only have fresh, that's perfectly fine too. You can go ahead and chop it up yourself and add that in there. Really wouldn't be much of a difference. And then what you're going to need for your last dry ingredient, besides a touch of pepper, is going to be a package of taco seasoning. Now, you can use original flavor taco seasoning. They have spicy taco seasoning. Whatever it is that you like, you go ahead and you add that. Just add 1 package. I like to sort of distribute it around here so that when I go to mix everything up, we make sure that we've got even seasoning. So go ahead now and just add a couple of cranks of black pepper grinder, or if you just have regular black pepper, a couple sprinkles with your finger. Okay, now, next step, mix all of this around as best as you can, and go ahead, don't worry about breaking anything up because this is all kind of going to melt in together, and especially those chunks of the ground beef. And if you have a little bit of that seasoning mixture that's kind of, you know, on the bottom of the crock pot, don't even worry because that is all going to integrate into your flavors once you cook everything. So just give it a really good mix. Might take you a couple seconds because we don't have a lot of moist ingredients in here, so you really want to stir it around as best as you can. Now, once that all looks good, next step is I'm going to add the rest of my bag of pre-frozen tater tots. And this makes this easy because you don't have to de-thaw these. You're just going to go ahead and add them in from their frozen state, no problem. Okay, so give it another little quick mix here. Just try to get that flavorful taco seasoning to coat onto everything in here. And once we have a pretty good mix going on here, what we're going to do is we are going to cook this in this crock pot on either low heat for 5 or 6 hours, or we can turn it right up to high heat and get this done in 2 hours before we add our final step of cheese. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put the lid on and get this crock pot going. So now that we have cooked this for the first initial amount of time, I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and wow, this smells amazing. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead and add all of this extra cheddar cheese on top of this, and you can add as much or as little as you want. I'm using sharp cheddar, but you can go ahead and add any sort of cheese that you want, and there is no limit to the amount of cheese that you can add, because who doesn't love more cheese? And cheese makes everything better. So go ahead and get a nice even coat of that on the top of everything, and then you're gonna set that aside, and let's go ahead now. Next step, just add some chopped fresh parsley or any herbs that you really want. I'm sure that cilantro would be good also, or if you don't like parsley or don't have any on hand, you don't really need to add any at all. We'll go ahead and cover that back up, and we're going to cook that on high for another 30 minutes just to let everything go ahead and melt together and finish the baking process. Let's let all those flavors meld. Now, once I've opened this back up and everything is good, all I need to do is cut right in here to this melted, cheesy, amazing bake, and go ahead and put this right onto a plate and let me have a taste. That's pretty much the next step. Yum, this smells amazing, looks amazing, and I don't know anybody who doesn't love tater tots and cheese. So now I am going to top it off with just a little bit of sour cream, because who doesn't want a little cooling on top of this nice hot melty bake? Yum. And dig in. Wow. Oh, this is really, really good. I would definitely make this again, and this is amazing tasting. Wow, this is even better than I thought it would be.